This video is gonna be a little bit different. So, if you don't like cussing, profanity, stories that are referring to Reddit, the a-hole stories, I would click off this video now. Um, I'm not gonna be cussing, but I'm just gonna be like reading out the Reddit a-hole stories. Um, I've always wanted to do something like this, but especially like while doing something, um, I've seen a lot of people do it and I've wanted to do it. So, I'm gonna be playing Minecraft and reading the Am I the A-hole stories. So, there's one on Reddit and it says, Am I the a-hole for telling my mother-in-law what my sister-in-law said? I, 30 female, have a sister-in-law, Riley, 14F. I've been in her life since the day she was born and we're very close. Riley is going through a bit of a difficult stage right now. Lots of fighting with her parents and not always making the best choices. So I took Riley out for some girl time. We had some sweets and I got her to tell me about what she's feeling. This is nothing new. She often opens up to me about things that she doesn't tell others. I didn't tell her what to do. I just gave her somebody to talk to about everything she's feeling. There was nothing concerning or alarming in what Riley told me. So I did not repeat her words to my mother-in-law. My mother-in-law is mad about this. She says that she has a right to know what's going on in her daughter's life and that I need to tell her. I explained that she didn't say anything alarming or concerning. It was just teenage girl stuff, and I'm not gonna break Riley's trust by repeating it. Mother-in-law says I am the adult and I shouldn't be playing, quote-unquote, the secret game with her daughter. Am I the a-hole for not telling my mother-in-law what my sister-in-law said? Honestly, my opinion is no, because first of all, it depends on how the parent is, and it depends on if the parent is going to critique you and, have their judgment and just be like really rude about it. Like, there's a certain level of how someone can be, in my honest opinion, and they can either accept you like they claim they will, like all parents claim, or some parents claim that we're always going to be there for you, we're always going to do this, we're always going to do blah blah blah. If you really mean what you say, if you really stand by your word, you won't be rude about it. Like, it's one thing if you show that, like, hey honey, like, I love you regardless of what you did, but it's another thing to just outright dismiss someone's feelings and just be like, oh, like, what you did was horrible, like, you should have talked to me, you should have done this, you should have done that. Like, if they don't feel safe, if you don't give them that vulnerability, they're not going to. That's the problem. Also, I just want to know what this is. Can I put stuff on this? I don't know. So, if you want your child to be vulnerable with you, and I'm speaking from an experience that, oh my gosh, that I've heard about and, dealt with somewhat myself, I don't think that it is right for your parent to, judge you for that. It's not. If you want a relationship with your daughter, or, if you want a relationship with your daughter, you have to, not be rude about it. You have to understand their boundaries and reasons why they do some of the things they do. I'm not saying that you can't have a reaction. I'm not saying you can't get mad. I'm more so saying consider the thought that maybe they have a reason why they feel like they can't tell you, so they're not telling you because of that. And you know that if that really is how they feel, it's something that you're doing or that you're not doing that is making them feel the way they're feeling. So maybe you should consider their point of view before you just, harp on them and, you know, overreact on things. Like, I'm not saying that's. I swear, if I don't stop seeing villagers, I'm going to smack them. Um. That's probably how a creeper got in here. Um. So, I think that if you want a connection with your child, you should work on accepting the child and more so just understand that as like kids from personal experience, if you want us to tell you something, you have to give that effort of not judging us and let us tell you what is going on without like you harping on us or like saying like why didn't you tell us sooner. Like, yes, I get the point of telling sooner because you have it out of your hands if not, but at the same time we feel pressure. We feel like it's hard to say anything, it's hard to speak about it. We don't really. And maybe we think about the fact that we don't feel comfortable or we don't want to particularly talk about such a rough subject. I need you to move out of the way. I need you to. Thank you. So just in that sense, I would say, if you want your child to speak about it, you have to be like, okay, honey, I'm listening. Like, what do you want to tell me? You have to kind of put your words in a sense that you're not going to, harp on someone or be rude to someone just because of how they feel. It's just not right, in my opinion. And this is just my opinion, this is just my hot take. But if you want your child to express how they feel, you should be understanding as a parent that if you're gonna judge them, if you're gonna make them feel like what they did is wrong, if you're gonna bash them for what they feel, they're not gonna tell you what's wrong. They're going to not tell you anything. They're going to possibly even be sneaky if that's something they're considering. Now, I'm not saying all people do that, but I'm sure some people would. Yeah, get out of my house. I just think that you can't tell, like, you can't, if your child feels pressured to tell, like, their mom something, I would understand that wholeheartedly. That's why I feel like if I were in that situation, I would tell them, like, I don't know what's going on. Like, if I even knew, I would just tell them, okay, first I would say, is she okay? Is my daughter okay? Like, what's wrong? And then I would say, you know, what's bothering her? Like, do you know, like, what's going on? Like, I wouldn't get into details if she said that it's something that's secret. I would be like, okay, I understand. But, another thing is, maybe the daughter is just overwhelmed because maybe her mom got mad and yelled at her for something that she did or didn't do. I mean, it's so hard to say now because people can be, harsh about things, and I think that unless you're thinking about it the way I'm thinking about it, or thinking about it in the sense that maybe they didn't feel comfortable, so they didn't tell you. Like, it's not one of those things that you just, like, brush off or that you're harsh on, because if you're harsh, they're not going to want to open up to you. It's just as simple as that. Oh, that's cool. It's just as simple as that. I mean, it's like asking someone to do something or asking someone to do something for you, you need that trust first, and then you can go on and do more over time. But I think pressuring, and like theoretically, if pressuring was considered, oh my gosh, that's so rare. If pressuring was to be considered, you'd have to consider the fact that not many people are going to, you know, trust you with what they want to tell you, especially if you give off the vibe that you're going to judge someone, because I'm not going to tell anyone anything unless I can trust them. And from personal experience, when people use things against you, just anybody, I won't speak about it. I won't tell anybody about it. And that to me is my right to say that I don't have to tell someone something that I don't want to tell. I don't think it's right to force anything that should not be forced. So, again, in my opinion, no. I don't think that she was the a-hole for not telling her mother-in-law. I think that she had every right to, keep that between them. Because I think that if, she had told Riley's, secret, she would have just, Riley would have just felt betrayed because you've known her for life. So, it's not just the fact that you're considering, only what, Riley feels or only, what the mom feels, but it's, a two-way street. It's, if you want to appease one person, that means you can't always appease both people. You have to find someone to, you don't want to break someone's trust, but you don't want to hurt someone. And I think that if I were in her situation, I would do the same thing. I would not tell the mother-in-law what happened. I mean, it really just depends, because it depends if it relates, to mental health, because I have a huge thing for mental health. I have a huge thing for wanting to help people who are struggling with their mental health. And I think that if you're struggling, if you're feeling anything that you're feeling, you need to, talk to someone, you need to vent to someone. And I think that by having a sister-in-law, and your sister-in-law who's 14 or older or younger, they want to tell someone something, but they don't have anyone to go to. Well, again, I don't know if this is a straight relationship, but if it is or if it isn't, it's just the fact that you, this girl who is 30 years old, she is providing support and comfort for that sister-in-law or daughter-in-law, sister-in-law. And I think that is very sweet. I think that is very helpful, because sometimes you feel like you don't have anyone to talk to. Sometimes you don't want to go to your friends at school. You don't want to go to people that you don't know if you could trust. But being the fact that she's been there since the sister-in-law was born, I think that is a great way of showing that there's trust between you both. I think it's a good thing, because I get it with the mom stuff, but at the same time, I have had personal experience when I was younger, not now, but when I was younger. My sister ran and told someone something, and I just lost that trust for her. And I think it's very understandable to feel that way. And if you don't want to tell someone, girl, you don't have to. Personally for me, I'm the type of person, yeah, I may tell my best friend, but my best friend and me, we have your secret, without doubt. And that's not always the case, because sometimes I, have secrets from my best friend, and I don't always tell them everything. If it's my significant other, that's a different story. But like my friend or best friend, no, they would not know anything. Like, if my significant other, for example, told me something and I couldn't tell my best friend, it is what it is. I mean, and if it's really serious and if it's really like bad or upsetting or depressing, whatever you want to call it, my best friend does not have the right to know what is going on in my significant other's life. And I'm not saying that in just the sense of that, but parents need to be better about letting their child be vulnerable towards them and not push them away or make them feel the way they shouldn't, because it's stuff like that that pushes away a child. It starts off when you're young and you don't feel that vulnerability. It's like, depending on what you do, because like some people may not remember what happened, but other people will. And I don't know if I remember what happened to me when I was younger, but I know that getting older, I remember it now. I remember things I felt. I remember struggling and not wanting to tell anybody anything growing up. I was actually her age whenever I started going through things, and I didn't want to tell my mom. I was scared to tell my mom. So, from personal experience, my heart goes out to that 14-year-old girl. I know that she is struggling if she can't even like tell her mom, because it's like that whole fear of like, what if I'm disappointing her? What if I'm, you know, gonna make her mad? What if it's just gonna be another argument? Like, I get those feelings. I know what that's like. And before like anyone comes and, you know, says like, oh well, you know, the mom should have known. Again, this is my hot take. This is my personal opinion. You don't have to agree with it, and I respect your opinions, but like, we need to normalize the fact that we're not gonna hate on people for being honest. We're not gonna hate on people for giving their opinion. Because if you had a daughter, 14 years old or younger, would you, in your opinion, be like how the mother is towards the mother-in-law? Because I feel like all children have the right to be understood. They have the right to be loved. They have the right to be taken care of, both mentally and physically. And I think that people need to normalize that we have different opinions, we have different stand views, and honestly, if someone doesn't agree with me because they would do less than like what I'm saying personally, like, I'm not sorry for my opinion. It is my opinion, and if anyone's gonna be rude or degenerate about it specifically, I would say go touch some grass. Like, that's all I'm gonna say. Like, go touch some grass and maybe consider, well, not even maybe, but consider, you know, going to God about your problems, because I honestly, I just think like, let me pray for you. Let me pray for what's going on in your life for you to feel the way you do and, you know, act the way you do, kind of thing. Because I am not saying that to be rude. I'm more so saying that because if you feel like children deserve less of any age, I think that you need to reflect on things. I think that you need to think about what you're saying and think about like that kind of stuff. And not only God, but, you know, everyone has consequences to what they do or say in the bad aspect, and I feel like sometimes we need lessons to make us grow. We need lessons to make us learn. So don't come at me for telling you what I feel is right. And what I feel is right is that, let me just say, there's a verse in the Bible, and I'm always gonna go by this for as long as I am alive, and it is, bless those who curse you, and, hold on, I'm hoping my Reddit will stay up. Yes, I'm actually multitasking. Luke 6:28, bless those who curse you, pray for those who mistreat you. So that's just one of those things, and I am a firm believer in God, and I am working on myself for Him, and I think that's honestly one of the best reasons to work on myself personally. And that's fine if you're not religious. That's fine if you're not religious at all. You don't like religion, whatever. But I'm just saying, if you mistreat me, I'm praying for you. If you curse me, then I bless you. I don't really, care how I'm treated by other people. It's the fact that doesn't mean that I'm gonna change how I am for you. That doesn't mean that I'm gonna wish bad upon you for what you said about me, kind of thing. And I'm just a firm believer in that. And that's honestly one of my favorite verses in the whole entire Bible. It's one that I've thought about for so long, and it's just the one that feels right to me personally. Growing up, I don't ever wish bad upon anyone, and yeah, you may hurt me, but I don't hate you. I don't hate you. You just disappoint me for what you did, because especially on the petty sense, nobody has to be so petty to where they do things whatever they done. But yeah, that's my personal opinion on that first story. I'm gonna read another one, but I had to read that one before I said it a few times, because I didn't want to read something and it have a word that I don't use in it. So So I'm gonna read one. I'm gonna read it out in my mind before I say it, because there's some things that I just don't like saying. Some things to me that are online are horrendous, or I'm not saying that I think I am all that. I am not saying that I am being something I'm not. I'm honestly getting to the point in life where if you don't like me for how I am, that's fine. But I have had, religion in my life for as long as I have been alive. And I would say that it is taking a good influence on me. It's shaping me to be the person that I dream of. And the person that I personally dream of is to respect people's opinions and to understand what people are saying. And honestly, if you don't agree, if you don't like it, that's fine. I'm not asking you to. That's your choice. But I'm not going to be degenerate because someone else is. I'm not going to be petty because someone else is. The past me is in the past, and, I've always been confused in the past, and I've always struggled in the past with how I am. And it has taken me a lot of years to figure out how I'm gonna be. So, again, nobody has to agree with how I feel, but again, it's my personal opinion. And if you don't like that, that's on you. That's not on me. So, these are cool, by the way. Oh lord, that's not great. Um, so, okay, here's one. I'm okay with this one. This one's not as bad as what I thought it would be, but I don't know how I feel about it, from what I have read, just to make sure it's nothing like really horrendous in speaking. Um, so I, 25 male, have a 2-year-old daughter, and ever since she was born, my mom has been coming to my place every Sunday to visit her. She still works 6 days a week, and Sundays just work best for everyone. When my daughter turned 1 and 1.5, my mom started taking her back to her house for a couple of hours so we can clean and run errands. It was ultimately her idea, but blessed because it's a big help. My mom always picks her up at 10 a.m. and she says she will bring her back at 3 p.m. 3 p.m. or if there is a time we want her back. Ever since my mom started taking my mom ever since my mom started taking my mom has always been late to bring my daughter back. It's always an hour or an hour and 1.5 late. My wife isn't a big fan of her showing up late because if we have plans then it messes them up. And I can understand that part. This past Sunday, my mom was supposed to return my daughter at 3 p.m. and from there go to my father-in-law so he can spend time with my daughter before he leaves for Christmas. She didn't bring back my daughter back until almost 4:30 p.m. and blamed my daughter for being late. And of course, set our plans back. I told my mom, nice and calm, that she can't take my daughter to her place because she is always late. But you can stay and visit her at my house. She said, OMG, you and your wife can SCREW off. It shocked me. I stayed quiet, told her I love her, and she drove away. Am I the a-hole? I would say no, you are not the a-hole, because at the very least, she could have negotiated. No, you both could have compromised on a time. There's no reason for the mom to do this every single time. Like, if she does it every single time, like I'm thinking of, that's not right. I mean, it's not. It's like, that's like telling someone that you're gonna do something all the time, and it would just get you so annoyed. I mean, I don't like when people tell you things and they don't go by it anyway, so I think your reason is valid. I think that, your mother actually is the a-hole if she's gonna be that way, because why are you telling your son and your, son's wife to screw off, first of all? It's just kind of weird. It's like, why would you do that? I just don't get stuff like that. It's really weird to me. I need to put those. No, actually, no. I'm gonna plant those. So yeah, I think that it's the mother at fault. I don't think it's you. And I think that you made the right move. And I think that she is being selfish because tell me why she can hang out with family, but the the child in question can't even spend time with other family members, because I feel like if I had a child, or if I were a child in this situation, okay, if I were a child in this situation, I would want my family around me, not just my grandma. I think that would be wrong if my parents did that to me, not let me be around like other family members unless there's a reason to not be around them. It's just the fact that like your mother has been very, I would say, hypocrite like over something that you were explaining your reasoning, you know, gave a reason, and the fact that she can't accept it, like, that's not your fault, that's her fault. She didn't take into consideration what you're saying. She probably took it like, oh, he can't be serious or something. Like, you have to set boundaries, you have to set reasons, and for your mom to tell you and your wife to screw off, that's like so shallow, and it's just so horrendous and disgusting of a parent to do. It's like, and then depending on like how your mom is, it's like that's just insane. It's so messed up. I'm speechless to an extent. It would make me so upset if I were personally in that situation where I had a child and my mother was telling me that. Like, I don't even know how to explain how much that would hurt if it were my own mother or my own parent or my own family, nonetheless, telling me to do that. Or, like, you know what I mean? Like, telling me to screw off. Like, I'd feel like I was probably, like, slapped in the face for something like that. We need more genuine people in this world, honestly. It's such a pain. Okay, I'm gonna read one more and then I gotta end the video because it's getting to the point where I can only record for like 30 something minutes. But honestly, I'm liking how my house is looking. I'm not done with it. I'm gonna work on it more, but I'm not gonna be recording that part. So anyway, let me read this real quick. Okay. My 30-year-old fiance, oh, wait, no. My 30F female fiance, 35NB, has been giving me grief for taking for a 45-minute / 1 hour nap before I go to work each day. I work 2 p.m. to 11 p.m. They work 7 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. and has a 4-year-old daughter who I watch while they work until I need to work myself. They expect me to wake up at 6-ish to make her breakfast and be ready for the day. I normally don't mind, but some days, if not every day, I work. I need an hour nap. I get home around 11:30. Stay awake for an hour, maybe an hour and a half because my body is wired from working. I have 2 days off and we nap together even sometimes, as does the little. They're starting to feel lonely, citing that I sleep every day when I do not. I currently am in therapy and see a psychiatrist to help with my alcohol addiction. I'm 2 months clean. And congrats on you for being 2 months clean. I know that nicotine and anything like that is very addicting. ADHD symptoms with impulse control and other issues, so they have that going on. They are a sleepy girl. I don't do it on purpose, and I'm not checking out because I feel they would be fine if I did. I literally will fall asleep sitting up if I am that tired. They're acting like I'm never awake or around, which work pulls me away a lot, but I barely hit 40 hours each week, same as them. My schedule is set, and Friday and Saturday are my off days, while theirs are Saturday and Sunday. I feel like crap for sleeping already, and that I have to sleep at all, but I wake up so early. I get maybe 6 hours each pre-nap if I'm lucky. I spoke to my psychiatrist in case this is a side effect of my meds, and she literally told me get more sleep. Am I the a-hole for napping because my body is literally forcing me to? Quick edit. Partner works from home at a very relaxed job while I have to travel 30 minutes both way to go to mine, and it's very pressure centered. First of all, I would say that no, you are not, because if it also depends, have you like tried telling your partner this, or are they in like one of those I don't believe you, I don't believe anything you're saying, I don't believe any of this, I don't believe any of that, you're making excuses. I would also say that first of all, I'm concerned you don't have that many hours of sleep, and it would be at least good if you had how many hours of sleep? Is it like 6, 7, or 8? Um, it is not your fault that, like, first of all, you're not the a-hole. Second of all, I think you need to start telling your husband? No, fiance. Your fiance that you've been seeing your psychiatrist and that your psychiatrist has been telling you to get more sleep. And if they have a relaxed job like you're saying they do, they need to check in with you. They need to see what is going on, because I feel like your partner should be checking on you, and your partner should be covering for you with the child in question and the child in mind, to take care of that child whenever you're busy. Because I feel like for someone who's working such a relaxed job, he should be the first to understand what you're going through. And I don't know if like he just has to do like calls in his room, but we need to normalize communicating to our partners and listening to our partners than harping on our partners and thinking they're saying like all this bullcrap and making excuses and all this other stuff. I would say if he gives you any more red flags or makes you feel like something you shouldn't, then you should also probably consider breaking up with him. But, this is just like a huge if. I'm not saying that I'm trying to tell anybody something that I don't know for sure, but if he is not understanding to you personally, that is a problem. It's not ideal to overstep boundaries. It's not ideal to not be understanding to your partner, because if you think that your partner is lying, if you think that your partner is cheating in anything like that, why are you with them? Why aren't you communicating? Why are we having boundaries, or no, not boundaries. Why are we not having things understood? Why are we having these issues with people whenever you are not communicating, you're not doing what you can to be there for your partner? Why are we being this toxic nowadays? Why are we promoting this cycle of things that we should not promote? It's one thing if you don't know what it's like and you're walking into it, because some people have true colors and you don't know it until it's too late. But it gets me that at the end of the day, there's people that are going through things like this, and their partner doesn't even think about what they may be going through. Like, my thing is, I want to know how my partner's doing. I want to know what's going on for them, So, personally, for me, I think that you are not the a-hole. I think that your partner needs to understand your boundaries, understand what you're going through, and I don't get why they can't understand. I don't get why they can't understand that you're going through a lot and you need hours to sleep. And y'all need to decide on a day if if your days are Friday and Saturday and their days are Saturday and Sunday, y'all need to find ways on Saturdays to hang out, or like they adjust their like he adjusts his schedule, or you adjust yours if you're able to, that is. Now if you're not, I can understand that too, but just for your husband, or no, I'm sorry, fiance to be that dismissive or sound that dismissive, that honestly irks me for you. I don't like people like that. I don't like people who dismiss your feelings or treat you wrong. It's just one of those things. Anyway, I gotta stop recording. I hope that you enjoyed the Reddit stories. I hope that you can understand my perspective. It's fine if not. Just want a reminder out there, nobody's perfect. Please try and understand the other person before you judge them or anything like that, because sometimes people are so misunderstood and so hurt because nobody understands where they're coming from. I think that we need more people that are understanding and accept boundaries and accept that they're not seeing things eye to eye. They're not seeing things in your shoes. And I hope that those stories that I heard about, like, God bless their souls, I hope that all of these people that are going through what they're going through, it just gets better. And I think props to you for venting about these things, because they're not easy to vent about, they're not easy to discuss. Also, I'm going to record one more video of Minecraft, not today though, but this is what my house looks like so far. I know I was mainly reading the Reddit ones, but anyway, it's definitely gonna get more work on it. I'm gonna replace, like, this floor right here, I'm gonna add, like, some stairs, and then I'm gonna redo the bedroom, and then I'm gonna add, like, onto this wall, then I'm gonna dig down so I can try and get some deep slate or other materials, because, let's be honest, I am a huge, and I mean huge, decorator. I could show you, my world that I have with my significant other, and I would just show you, like, what I've decorated so far, and what, they've decorated so far. Wow. Just a little bit. I don't know. But anyway, if you agree with my opinions, that's amazing. If you don't, that's fine too. If you don't, like me, or you don't like my videos, that's fine as well. I'd rather you do what feels right to you. Just heads up at the end of the day. I would say that, you know, some people are just misunderstood, and I feel like we don't need that barrier, we need that communication, and I think anyone needs this communication, not just specific people. So I hope that you can understand my perspective before I am judged or ridiculed, or is it ridicule? I don't know, I'd have to search that up. I hope that I'm not harassed for how I feel or anything. I think that I'm very responsive on what I feel is right, kind of thing, to the best of my ability without being harsh, as of this video at least. I don't know. Anyway, I hope you have a good rest of your day or rest of your night, and